Hello, welcome back to my channel and welcome to another weekly reading vlogs. Today is Monday, May 11th and I've actually finished a book today, so I'm gonna be telling you about that, but the other book that I am currently reading is Children of Strife, and I did read like 100-ish pages of it today as well, and I am like this much in, which is 60 something percent. I am at the start of part 13 and this has 19 parts. I think I will just talk about this in the next time that I update you, but now I am going to tell you about the book that I did already finish today because I had like 30 something percent of it left, and that was Cause of Death, which was book I think 7 in the Kay Scarpetta series, which is a crime mystery series, and we follow Kay, who is a medical examiner, and we just follow whatever case she is working on. And in this particular case, there was a body that was found in, I think it was a river, could be a lake, but I think it was a river. It was, water. And the body that was found was actually from a reporter that Kay and like other people from the police and from the medical examiner's office like knew. And they obviously start investigating, and at first it seems like it's an accident, but actually then the more they learn, it seems that it's not an accident, and they start like trying to figure out what that reporter was working on, like what he was investigating and what that might be connected to, and like what people that might be connected to. And it turns out it's like a much bigger thing than they initially expected. And in the first half, and even like a bit more after the first half, I was really liking it. I was really liking the investigation, and like for once the characters weren't like pissing me off nearly as much as they usually do. So like I was having fun, but I just feel like the ending was so, I don't know, like rushed and underwhelming that I just left the book like feeling disappointed. So yeah, for a while it felt like it was gonna be my favorite book in the series, which like I haven't really loved any, but they're like okay, and this one I was liking more than the rest, especially because like I said, the characters weren't pissing me off as much. Like I still didn't love them, but like they were better, or at least like I wasn't noticing the things that I usually notice like as much. But yeah, I just feel like it was very underwhelming the way that it ended, and yeah, definitely very, very rushed, because we had like such a build up and then everything was resolved extremely quickly. So yeah, I definitely didn't love that. I don't know if it's like 3 or 3.5 stars, but it's definitely not more than that. And yeah, I finished that today. Like I said, I am reading Children of Strife, and honestly I don't know where I'm gonna read next. I am obviously gonna continue Children of Strife. This is a massive book, like it's gigantic, and it is almost 700 pages. I'm on page, let me see, 440, around that. So yeah, I still have a lot of pages to go, and I'm definitely really liking this one. So it will not be a problem to continue reading it, but it will take me some time. But when I do finish this, which I am hoping will be during this week, the next like physical book that I am planning on starting is Daughter of Crows. Like these two are part of my anticipated books for this year, and I'm kind of behind on reading my anticipated books because I had a reading slump. Everything fell behind. My reading fell very behind. So yeah, once I finish this, the next physical book I want to start is this one, which is much slimmer. I don't know if it's that much shorter, but it feels much shorter. Okay, it is 375. Yeah, 375 pages. So it's just a bit over half of the other one. So yes, it is in fact smaller, although the font is also much smaller. So each page will take longer to read than from Children of Strife. But other than like physical books, like audio or like ebook, I don't really know what I'm gonna start next. Like I don't know what I'm feeling like. So I don't really have, much in terms of plans for that. Other than that, I need to like finish a presentation because on Friday a colleague and I are gonna like present a paper like journal club at the meeting at the lab, and on Wednesday I'm gonna be at the biobank. But the rest of the days I'm gonna be like just doing my own lab work, and I have a lot to do. Like today was crazy. Tomorrow is gonna be like not as crazy, and Thursday I think is also okay-ish, but Friday is gonna be terrible, especially because like we do have that meeting that we have to present, and then I have like so much to do that I don't think I will be able to catch my usual train when I go back to my hometown, which I will be doing this weekend. So there is that. I do not think I will be able to catch that train because I really do have a lot to do. Because to catch that train, I need to leave work like a little bit earlier than the other days. And I think I will be leaving later than usual. So yeah, there is that. But like I said, I am going to my hometown during the weekend. I don't really have any plans there, I don't think, but I am going back. And yeah, so those are my sort of plans. My reading plans are also not very defined, so there is that. But I think that is all that I had to say in this intro, so welcome to the vlog. Thursday, and I have some reading updates. So I guess first we can go with Children of Strife because I finished it. I finished this massive book and I really, really liked it. I honestly don't remember if I talked about what the plot was when I started the vlog. I feel like I did not, but I'm not entirely sure. So like I'm gonna say it, and if I have said it, I'll just cut it out when I'm editing, I guess. So this is the fourth book in the Children of Time series, which is a science fiction series. And at the start of the series, basically like many years ago, like the Earth has been dying for like climate reasons, and also like there have been a lot of wars. And so the Earth is dying, and there are like these groups of people that have left to terraform planets, either like groups of people or just like ships that were sent with like things that would help create a better planet for humans. And we follow a group of humans that gets to like some of these planets that were terraformed and prepared for human life, and they always encounter like other like alien life in those planets that they get to, and there are always like characters being added to our group, and there are always like a dual timeline. There's always a dual timeline where we have like how things progressed in the planet and then like how they are in the present, and it's always like very different, so we need to figure out like how things went from, you know, the past to the present. And I really like this series. And in this book, we actually have 3 timelines. So we have like the first age, where we are following the like this new planet being terraformed. And so we see how this group of humans that has gotten there is dealing with like how the planet is, and like the wildlife that exists there and the experiments that they do to it. And then we have the second age, where we get some humans as well that left this dying earth and got to that planet that was terraformed, and how they deal with what they encounter. And even like from the first age to the second, there are some differences that are existing in this planet. And then in the third age is where we are following our group of characters that we have been following throughout the series. And they also reach this planet. And actually, like, one of the members of the crew wakes up like on the ship, and she is like practically alone, because it seems that the rest of the crew has gone into the planet and they have like vanished. And so we have to figure out like what happened to them, if they can be saved. And at the same time, like, there is this whole thing happening with the planet, and like with the changes that were made to the planet by the terraformers, and like they have to deal with all that. But there's also like things happening with our main characters that have nothing to do with the planet itself, and it's like things from like previous books that they are still dealing with, and then it all like comes together. And I really liked it. I really like to see how everything came together, how everything like changed from one age to the other, and how, because we had like chapters from all the ages like at the same time basically, and so when everything connected and made sense, I absolutely loved it. And there are some characters here that we've been following that I also really love. There are also some that I really don't like, but I think that is like their purpose, at least I hope so. And yeah, I really like the book. I really like to discover all of this. I really love the journey as well. And yeah, I had a great time. It is not like 5 stars. It didn't give me, the feeling. I think my favorites in the series are still the second and third books, but I really liked it, and I think I'm giving it 4.5 stars. So obviously still great. And then with The Cursed Among Us, I am 70% in, and so this is a horror book, and in this one we are following a group of 4 15-year-old kids. And actually before that, we have a prologue where we're following a guy who was like convicted of basically being a serial killer, and we see him like saying that there's someone or like something that is talking to him, like making him kill people. And now in the present, these 4 boys are like in the woods. They are filming like their own little movie, and they come across something, and it seems to be like a grave site. And so after they find that, one of the kids gets sort of like possessed, I guess, or like haunted by this entity that is also telling him to like hurt people and kill people and do all that. And although the other boys are not like technically being haunted by this, they are also like very involved, because they were there and it is their friend that this is happening to. And actually, like, one of the last chapters that I read, we are getting like we got sort of a shocking information. And also, like, while we are going through this that is happening with the boys in the present, we are also learning like more about what happens in the past, and if like those crimes, like what people think happened was what actually happened or not. And I'm really liking it. I'm finding it like quite creepy. It's nothing crazy, like it's nothing so out there different from other horror books that I've read, but it's working for me. I'm having a good time. I am having fun, and I'm actually liking the characters, which, for them being 15-year-old boys, I wasn't sure if I was gonna, connect that much to them, but I am really liking them. And yeah, I'm curious to see where it goes, and I'm curious to see if we're gonna find out about the origin of this person, whatever, that is making all these people commit violent crimes. And yeah, actually, I thought this was a standalone. Obviously, like, at one point when I added it to my TBR, I saw that it was part of a series, but when I started reading it, I actually thought it was a standalone, but it is actually the first book in a series. Actually, I don't know how many books there are in the series. I don't think it's a long series, at least, but I don't know if it's like duology. trilogy. Three. There are three books. The last one was published this year, so like I don't know if there will be more books, but for now there are three. And yeah, I'm having a good time. If it continues this way, I probably will continue with the series, which in a way is great, but also isn't great because I already have so many series going on. But you know, I'm enjoying the book, which is what matters, and it's great. And today, just like now before filming this, I actually started another book. I think I said would be my next physical read, and it is indeed, which is Daughter of Crows. I only got to page 47, so like I barely read anything, but I did start it, and this is one of my anticipated releases. It is fantasy. It's the first book in the Academy of Kindness series. Again, I don't know how many books there are going to be in the series, but yeah, it's the first book, and I am very excited to read this. In the first few pages, we've met some characters, and like what I know from the synopsis is that there is this Academy of Kindness where there are like girls trained to be, here it says, to create agents of retribution against whom even the gods hesitate to stand. So I guess they sort of create, I would say, like assassins or something. I think they go through training like for 10 years, but barely any of them actually survive the 10 years. And only like very desperate people basically sell their kids to this academy. But actually, like Rue, who I'm guessing is our main character, we have gotten a few chapters with her, she actually sold herself. And like many years have passed since she left the academy, and she has now found peace, but like war comes knocking at her door. That is like pretty much the synopsis. Like it has happened, like war knocking at her door, but also we're seeing scenes in the academy as well, like how the academy sort of works, I guess. And yeah, I'm enjoying it. I haven't gone through much, so like I don't have that much to say, but I am definitely enjoying it, and I am definitely curious to see where the story goes. And yeah, that's it. Those are my reading updates, which were actually quite a few. I have been reading, and yeah, yesterday I was at the biobank, and it was bad. And like especially in the morning, we had like 19 samples, like 19 times 2, I guess, because we have like 2 types of samples, so each sample has 2 types of samples, you know. So that was a lot. We were not prepared for all that. The afternoon was better, but yeah, the morning was rough, and today was definitely better. And tomorrow I have my presentation that I think I mentioned, the journal club. And so today also we practice the presentation that we're gonna give tomorrow, and that is at 2. I think I'm also gonna read some of The Cursed Among Us still tonight. And yeah, then I have Daughter of Crows, although I might start some other book because I am planning on like going on 1 or 2 runs during the weekend while I'm at my hometown, and I want to have an audiobook. And this one, like I want to read physically, so I don't want to be listening to this one. So I will most likely start an audiobook. I have no idea which one, but one. I have way too many options, to be honest, which is probably the problem. But yeah, those are my reading updates, my reading plans, and just updates and plans in general, I guess. I also, during the weekend, I need to film basically like the intros and outros for 2 videos and edit one of them, and that's pretty much it, I guess. So I'm gonna go now, and I will talk to you most likely on Saturday, which I think is when I'm gonna be filming all those other things as well. Okay, so it is Saturday. I just finished filming like the things that I needed for those 2 videos that I think I said that I needed to film stuff for. So yeah, I did that. One of them I do need to edit tonight because it's like for this weekend. The other is actually just for next weekend, but since I have already finished like all of the books for that video, I might as well just film everything in a row, and then next weekend, actually I'm gonna have a lot of things going on, so it's a lot better that I actually already have it all filmed. And if I am able to edit that during the week, that would be ideal. Although honestly, like being realistic, I doubt that, but at least it's filmed already, so that is great. And yeah, I did that. But in terms of reading, honestly, I don't really have like much to update you on, because the only thing that I read since I last talked to you was like a bit more of Daughter of Crows. And when I say a bit, I really mean just a bit. I got to page 89, so I'm only this far in. I'm about to go into chapter 13. So there is that. And yeah, I think I said kind of what was happening. So we're following Rue as she, has found peace after being in the Academy of Kindness. And, now that she's like just living her life, some assassins were sent for her. And so now she kind of has to go back into this sort of life that she had before. And then we're heading like chapters of like the Academy of Kindness and like the first years, the trials, the crazy violent things that these students have to go through. And we are following so far 2 POVs from that, but I think we're gonna get a third. And like I have a theory of how some things are connected. I had that theory on like a few chapters ago, and yeah, I'm definitely enjoying it. I'm definitely very intrigued because this is very mysterious, and I am definitely enjoying seems like the wrong word to say about like what's happening in the academy, because it is like very brutal and like horrible to these girls. But I'm really enjoying the book, and yeah, that's that. So I don't really have much to update you on. I did have my presentation yesterday. I think that went well as well. And most importantly, it's done. It's over. My morning was crazy because like that was in the afternoon. My morning was crazy. And then like we were there and like I was apparently not looking nervous, and I was like, I didn't even have time to be nervous because I was doing so much in the morning. But I actually did manage to get all of my things done like in the time that I wanted. So like I did catch the usual train to come here, so that worked out. And yeah, I do think the presentation went well. People say that it went well because I guess someone who's watching has a better idea of it than me. I've kind of just like black out while I'm presenting. Like, yes, I have a notion of how it went, but not really, so yeah, I guess it did go well. And yeah, it's done, it's over. I still will have a lot of things to do in the upcoming weeks. So there is that. And yeah, during this weekend, I want to read more of Daughter of Crows. But like realistically, I don't know. I never read a lot while I'm here at my parents' house. Never happens. Like today, it's already 5 p.m. I haven't read a single page. And I am planning on going on a run in a couple of hours. And I will probably be listening to an audiobook, but like of some other book that I will start, not Daughter of Crows. So, I will most likely read something. I don't know if that will be Daughter of Crows. You know what I mean? But I do want to make progress if I can. And I have no idea what book I'm going to start. I need to just go through my list of audiobooks that I have saved and see what calls to me, I guess, because I really have no plan whatsoever. But yeah, I also don't have much to update you. I'm just like continuing to film since I was already filming other things. So I just did not move from the spot, and I just pressed record once again. And so I'm here to give you this very short, very small updates. So yeah, that's it for now. Other than that, I don't really have any plans either. Like I said, next weekend's gonna be sort of crazy, like a lot of things going on, because it's the like celebration of my hometown. So there's gonna be like there are gonna be people here having lunch, and then there's gonna be like celebrations in the town, things to do, things to see. And my bestie is actually gonna come over, and she's gonna sleep over here from Sunday to Monday, because I'm actually taking Monday and Tuesday off, because Monday is like the holiday of my hometown. So like I want to still be here, so I have to take those days off from work because I do not work here. So yeah, there's that. And I am very excited for that. But this weekend is going to be more just like
chilling, I think. I hope, honestly. So yeah, I will, like I said, hopefully make some progress in Daughter of Crows, although I do not promise that I will, and I will start some other book that I still have no idea what that will be, and I will talk to you again on Monday to wrap up this vlog.
Okay, so it is Monday and I'm here to wrap up this vlog, and I did not make any progress in Daughter of Crows. Actually, I have today, but that is not for this vlog. But I just want to say that my theory is actually correct, and it was like nothing big, and it was nothing that it took too long to be revealed, but I'm happy that I got my little theory was correct. So I just want to say that. But there are still a lot of things that I am very clueless about. So there's that. But yeah, until like yesterday, so like the end of this week of this weekly vlog, I did not make any progress in this. I did, however, read half of another book, and I think I mentioned that I did not know what to start. And so I sent my bestie like 3 options of books, but like I just sent her the cover and the title and like the length of the audiobook, I guess. And I told her like, without no context of what these books are about, like choose one for me to start listening to on my run. And she chose The Cabin at the End of the World. And so that is a horror book, and it was actually the shortest out of the audiobook options, which I have no idea was like a factor in the decision or not, but that's what she picked. And so we start by following Wen, and she is maybe 8 years old, something around that, I think, at least. And she is staying at a cabin in like the woods, kind of like in the middle of nowhere with her dads. And she's like outside of the cabin when some guy approaches her, and she's at first like, maybe I should not talk to strangers. Like I've been told not to talk to strangers, but he seems like a nice guy. So she stays with him, like talking for a while until other people show up, and he says that like they're with him and they are gonna, like her dads are gonna need to let them in because they need them, like that group of people need Wen and her dads to save the world. And then they kind of start, attacking them, and I'm definitely intrigued. And also I read or I listened to the first third on like that run on Saturday, and I was really, really, really into it. And then from like that first third to the halfway point, which is where I like stopped yesterday, I'm enjoying it, but I'm not loving it as much. Like in the beginning, it was very creepy, unsettling, like in the best way possible. Now I'm feeling like some things are already being like a bit repetitive, so I'm not like absolutely obsessed with it, but I'm still enjoying it. I'm still intrigued, and I'm still creeped out for sure, just not, as into it as I was in the beginning. But regardless, I am definitely having a good time, and that's it. Those are my updates, and I think that is all that I had to tell you, because I didn't really do anything that interesting during the weekend. I did edit my video like I wanted to. I also did film everything that I wanted to, but I think I already had when I last told to you. I went on my runs, hang out with my parents, and that was it really. And obviously I came back here. And so to wrap up what I read on this week, so I finished Cause of Death, I finished Children of Strife, I read The Cursed Among Us, and I started Daughter of Crows, and I started The Cabin at the End of the World, and that was 1006 pages, which I am very happy with. And I am also overall happy with the books that I read, especially Children of Strife. I really, really, really loved it. And the others, I like them, I just didn't, love them as much as Children of Strife, although I think Daughter of Crows might be up there as well. But I'm still not that far into it yet. But yeah, that is it. That is everything, I think, for this weekly vlog. So thank you so much for watching. I really hope that you have enjoyed it. And if you did, give it a like and subscribe. And I will talk to you next time. Bye.